Something's not right in Baltimore, and you can feel it in every corner of the Ravens facility. From the body language on the sideline to the way John Harbaugh speaks at press conferences, there's a heavy cloud over this team. And at 1 win and 4 losses, with a defense giving up points like it's handing out candy and an offense stumbling out of the gate, the Super Bowl dreams this team carried into the season feel like a distant memory. Harbaugh, typically guarded in his comments, finally cracked the door open this week, hinting that major changes could be coming, particularly along an offensive line that's looked overwhelmed and out of sync from day one. The Ravens have been pushed around, bullied, and exposed by teams they should be beating. Detroit walked in and did what they wanted. Houston, yes, the Houston Texans, dominated the trenches like they were the ones with championship DNA. It wasn't just a bad day. It was symbolic of something deeper. The heart and fight this Ravens team has been known for. Where is it? Where's the grit, the swagger, the signature toughness? And while you can chalk some of it up to injuries, this team looks emotionally and mentally flat. No energy, no urgency. And for Harbaugh, a coach who's long been praised for getting his teams to rally, that's got to be one of the most alarming signs yet. When your guys stop believing, when the sidelines are quiet and the fire's gone, something's broken. Now, it's not like nobody saw a rough start coming. The schedule wasn't easy, but 1 win in 5 games. That's more than a stumble, it's a faceplant. And the injuries? Sure, they've been brutal. Lamar Jackson's out. Roquan Smith is out. Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey, also dealing with tricky soft tissue injuries. Justin Matabike, their dominant defensive lineman, also sidelined. The core of this team has been decimated, and still, that's no excuse for what we saw on Sunday. Because even with a banged-up roster, the effort's supposed to be there. The intensity, the pride, and it just wasn't. The Texans didn't just win, they had fun. They smiled. They danced. They looked like the team with all the momentum, while Baltimore just looked lost. Harbaugh admitted it, without admitting it. The message is starting to shift. The usual "we believe in our guys" has become "we have decisions to make." That's telling. Because when your head coach starts talking about accountability and performance evaluations mid-season, it means the seat under him is heating up, and fast. He mentioned that everything's on the table now, especially with the offensive line. And that's a group that's been an outright liability this year. No push in the run game. Constant pressure in the quarterback's face. They're losing at the line of scrimmage on nearly every play. And with guys like Ben Cleveland not stepping up and very little depth behind them, it's hard to imagine this thing turning around without help from outside the building. You know it's bad when people are calling for veterans to come out of retirement or asking about possible trades for guys like Kevin Zeitler just to stop the bleeding. That's desperation mode. And it makes sense, because this team is stuck. They've got arguably the best running back in football, but the offensive line can't open lanes for him. That's not a talent issue. That's a failure to execute. And it's leaving the coaching staff scrambling for solutions. What's worse is that they don't even look competitive. No fire. No spark. Just resignation. But let's go beyond the line play. Let's talk about culture. Because that's what this really comes down to. Body language matters. Leadership matters. And right now, the Ravens are failing those tests. On TV, all you saw Sunday were players with their heads down or walking off the field with no urgency. No communication. No visible emotion. That's what fans are reacting to. Not just the losses, but the way they're losing. The way this team looks like it's checked out. And when veterans like Kyle Van Noy are giving press conference answers that clearly hint at frustration, without outright throwing anyone under the bus, you know there's unrest behind the scenes. The veterans see it. The coaches feel it. And the fans are sick of it. This team was supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. On paper, they were built for a deep run. But after 5 weeks, they don't even look like a playoff team. And the worst part is, there's not even a clear reason to believe things will turn around. They've had slow starts before, but this one feels different. It feels heavier, more permanent. You listen to Harbaugh now, and the stress is visible. His words are cautious, but his eyes say more than the transcript ever could. He knows what's happening. He's been around long enough to sense when a team is slipping away. And maybe this is the end of an era in Baltimore. Maybe this is the moment where we start to see the core break apart. Because the truth is, this team has had its chances. 3 separate seasons with legit Super Bowl windows, 2019, 2023, and this year. And what do they have to show for it? Not a single trip to the big game. Not even a sniff. And now, the questions are louder than ever. How much longer will Marlon Humphrey be around? Will they re-sign Mark Andrews? Do they pay Zay Flowers early and build around him? The free agency list at the end of this season is long, and the cap room isn't endless. At some point, hard decisions will have to be made, and it's possible we're watching the final version of this roster as we know it. It's not just injuries and bad luck. The issues go deeper than that. Scheme, motivation, leadership, the things you can't fix with one good draft pick or one splash trade. And yeah, you can say it's early. There's time to bounce back. But when a team looks this flat, this uninspired, it's hard to see where that bounce is coming from. It's not just one unit or one side of the ball. It's all of it. The defense can't get stops. The offense can't protect the quarterback. And special teams, once a Baltimore hallmark, isn't doing anything to flip momentum. You add all that up, and what you get is a 1-4 team staring down the possibility of a lost season. Even the coaching staff feels like it's running on fumes. Defensive coordinator Zach Orr is catching heat, and rightfully so. For the second year in a row, his unit looks unprepared out of the gate. Missed tackles, blown coverages, soft zones giving up easy completions. The bend-don't-break philosophy only works if you eventually stiffen up. But right now, the Ravens' defense is bending, breaking, and then snapping in half. In the last 2 weeks, they've forced just 2 punts on 20 total possessions. That's not NFL-level defense. That's a team that looks like it's stuck in preseason mode. The Texans, one of the worst third down and red zone offenses coming into Week 5, look like the second coming of the greatest show on turf against this Baltimore group. And if Zach Orr is in the hot seat, he's not alone. Offensive coordinator Todd Monken hasn't exactly lit the world on fire either. He gets some grace for dealing with injuries, but the inconsistency and the failure to adjust mid-game have raised eyebrows. Fans are tired of hearing about execution. They want to see results. And right now, they're not seeing any. So where does this team go from here? The bye week is coming, and it couldn't arrive at a better time. Because if this team drops to 1-5 heading into the break, we could be looking at a real shakeup. Not just roster moves, coaching decisions, maybe even the end of the Harbaugh era. It's not unthinkable anymore. Not with how things are spiraling. Steve Bisciotti isn't known for making impulsive decisions, but even loyalty has a breaking point. And when a team starts trending from underachieving to irrelevant, ownership takes notice. The Ravens need something, anything, to hold on to. A statement win, a gutsy performance, a flash of that old Baltimore toughness. Because right now, there's no identity, no hope, no reason to believe. If there's one thing that used to define the Baltimore Ravens, it was pride. You could always count on them to show up and play with edge, with heart, with that trademark chip on the shoulder. But right now, that identity is gone. You look at this team and wonder if they even recognize themselves. Guys who used to fly around the field look hesitant. The communication is off. Even the swagger, the thing that always made Baltimore different, is missing. And when a locker room loses that, it doesn't matter how talented the roster is. You can have pro bowlers all over the field, but if there's no belief, no buy-in, the losses start to snowball. That's where they are right now. And the scary part? You can't fake energy. You can't coach effort. It has to come from within. The frustration is visible in every corner of the organization. The fan base feels it. The players feel it. Even John Harbaugh, who's been one of the most composed coaches in the league for nearly 2 decades, is showing signs of wear. This is a man who's been through rebuilds, injuries, heartbreaks, but this feels different. You can hear it in the way he talks about accountability and how everyone needs to earn their spot. That's not the calm tone of a coach in control. That's the voice of someone trying to wake up a team that's sleepwalking. The Ravens aren't just losing, they're fading, and Harbaugh knows his job could be on the line if he doesn't turn it around quickly. He's earned plenty of goodwill over the years, but goodwill doesn't win games, and the NFL doesn't wait for anyone. Defensively, the numbers are ugly. The Ravens can't get off the field on third down. They're missing tackles left and right. Even their fundamentals, something Baltimore used to take pride in, have collapsed. The Texans converted 7 of 12 third downs and scored touchdowns on 4 of their 5 red zone trips. That's the kind of stat line that gets coaches fired. This defense has gone from elite to embarrassing in the span of a few weeks, and it's not all because of injuries. It's poor preparation, questionable play calling, and a lack of physicality. You watch these games and wonder where the fire went. The Texans were the second-worst third-down team in football heading into that game, and they walked out looking like contenders. If that doesn't make you reevaluate everything, nothing will. And then there's the offense, which somehow feels equally lifeless. Lamar Jackson has been fighting through adversity since the moment he got here, but now it looks like even he's running out of answers. You can see it in his eyes on the sideline: frustration, confusion, maybe even a little resignation. He's been pressured constantly. The offensive line gives him no time. The receivers are inconsistent, dropping passes, running lazy routes, and in some cases, completely quitting on plays. Rashad Bateman's effort, or lack of it, on that interception summed it up. He stopped running, and the defender made an easy play. That's not just a bad rep. That's a mentality issue. That's the kind of thing that gets noticed in film sessions and eats away at team chemistry. Harbaugh's reaction to that play said everything. A quiet nod, disappointment all over his face. He didn't even have to say it. He knows it's unacceptable. But what can he really do? Bench a former first-round pick when half the roster's already hurt? It's a lose-lose situation. And that's the theme of this season: no easy answers. Every position group has a problem. Every solution creates another hole. The offensive line is broken. The receivers aren't reliable. The defense can't tackle. The coordinators can't adjust. It's a complete unraveling, and it's happening faster than anyone expected. Fans are starting to ask the hard questions. Is this the end of the Harbaugh era? Is this the point where Baltimore finally presses reset and brings in a new voice? It's not an overreaction anymore. This is a results business, and for the last few seasons, the results have been disappointing. The Ravens haven't looked like true contenders since that magical 2019 season, and even that year ended with heartbreak. Since then, it's been a pattern of promising starts and ugly finishes. Injuries, blown leads, missed opportunities. It's like déjà vu every season. And at some point, that pattern reflects leadership. You can't keep pointing to bad luck when it happens over and over again. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. In what is quickly becoming one of the NFL's most talked about locker room controversies, Derrick Henry, the league's dominant running back, reportedly drew a hard line with team management. He will no longer play alongside quarterback Cooper Rush. While neither player has publicly addressed the situation in detail, sources close to the team suggest that Henry's frustration has been simmering for months, fueled by what he perceives as inconsistent leadership at the quarterback position. Fans of the team, already navigating a roller coaster season, were sent into a frenzy when whispers of the tension first surfaced. Henry, known for his punishing running style and ability to carry offenses on his back, is allegedly unwilling to compromise on his conditions. Derrick wants to win. He wants the ball in his hands, and he wants to know that his quarterback can deliver when it counts, a team insider told our reporter, requesting anonymity. Cooper has had flashes, sure, but Derrick sees too many mistakes, and it's reached a breaking point. The rumor has sparked endless debate among fans and analysts alike. Some argue that Henry's stance is understandable. After all, he's a future Hall of Famer in the making, a player whose career depends on playing in situations where he can dominate. Others see it as a gamble, potentially creating a rift in the locker room that could affect team chemistry. Management now faces a delicate balancing act. They need to keep Henry happy without undermining Cooper Rush, who has proven himself a capable backup but has yet to establish a long-term starting role. League insiders suggest that the team may explore trade options or restructure the quarterback depth chart, but no official moves have been announced. Meanwhile, social media is ablaze with speculation, with fans dissecting every snap from previous games and projecting how the potential split could reshape the team's future. One thing is clear: the tension between Derrick Henry and Cooper Rush has injected a dramatic subplot into the NFL season, and every analyst in the country is watching closely to see how it unfolds. As the rumor mill churns, one question looms larger than any stat line. Will Derrick Henry and Cooper Rush ever take the field together again? Or is this the start of a seismic shift in the team's roster? Only time, and perhaps a bold management decision, will tell. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.